Good day, everyone, and now we are going to talk about the moral virtue and Mesotes. According to Aristotle, developing a practical wisdom involves learning from experiences. Mesotes is some in between the word deficiency or imbalance. As stated by Aristotle, developing a practical wisdom involves learning from experiences, which means that knowledge is not inherent to a person. Knowing the right thing to do when one is confronted by a choice is not easy. Mesotes. It is what practical wisdom identifies as the right action. The middle measure of an action, feeling, or passion. Nothing is lacking or too much from an act that is morally good. One need to develop this knowledge by exercising the practical reason by his or her deliveral. In attaining practical wisdom, he or she may initially make mistake on how reason is applied to a particular moral choice or action, but through these mistakes, he or she will be able to sustain practical wisdom to help determine what are the considered moral act, choices, and action. So, in other words, moral virtue is the ability to mature and grow in our own capacity of knowing what to do and living the morally upright. However, when practical wisdom guides the conduct of morally right choices and actions, what does it identify as the proper and right thing to do so? As, main, as maintained by Aristotle, it has to be the middle measure of an action, feeling, or passion. Nothing is lacking or too much from an act that is morally good. A morally virtuous person is concerned with achieving his or her appropriate in action in a manner that is neither excessive nor deficient. The rightness or wrongness of feeling, passion, and abilities lies in the degree of their application in a given situation, not in the person itself. Target the Mesotes. It means that a thing that is right or wrong depending on the degree of its applications, and it varies to a face-to-face basis, which means that the task of being moral involves seriously looking into the understanding a situation and assessing properly every particular detail relevant to the determination of the mean. Mesotes determine whether the act that is being applied is not excessive or deficient. So, Aristotle's discussion ultimately leads to defining what exactly moral virtue is. And according to Aristotle, there is no good in something that is already a bad act. However, when what involved is seen as a bad feeling, passion, or action, that the middle is non-existent because there is no good in something that is already considered a bad act. Meaning na ang tinutukoy ni Aristotle na middle ay still doing a good manner na action. Aristotle also provides examples of these particular virtues and the corresponding excesses and deficiencies of this. This table shows some of the virtues and vices. So we have here the deficiency and decisiveness. In the middle, we have here the self-control. And the last is the excessive is impulsiveness. For the conclusion, take this table as an example. So when we say exist, it simply means too much. And as the word deficiency, it means that something is deficient or lacking. For example, think about the word impulsiveness. When we say impulsiveness, ito yung gumagawa siya ng desisyon na hindi masyadong nag-iisip. When we say indecisiveness naman, or indecisive, ito naman ay hindi tayo gumagawa ng desisyon. So, in the middle of those two words, we have the word self-control, which means nakakagawa tayo ng desisyon ng maayos. In other words, one can always be excessive in their action, but in action that is virtuous cannot go beyond the middle. So, that's all for today. Thank you.